Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. While the Western civilization, unfortunately, is concerned with diversity, inclusion, and equity and other BS, other countries on this planet are landing on the moon for the first time in the South Pole of the moon. Other countries get together and expand organizations, very important organizations like the BRICS countries. Other countries, get friends again and they expand their friendship, like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Syria, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, and Pakistan. Israel is left outside, United States is left outside, while we are very concerned with glorifying this nullity of zero Zelensky. These guys are doing all that. While those guys are prospering in a certain way, we on the other hand are just going down deeper in depth. What happened now? As you probably know, the BRICS, the organization, the emerging economies of the global economies, formed by five countries: Brazil, India, Russia, Brazil, and South Africa. Jesus Christ. They expanded. They got Ethiopia, Egypt, Argentina, Iran, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. So now they're 11. Now, what's the impact on the global economy? How important this move is? How important BRICS became with this? It was important before. How important? I have this article right now, ready from Russia Today, to tell us what are the numbers. The numbers, not maybe boo-baba gagaba. Numbers. And these guys are still concerned with the, cult, image of Zelensky, diversity and all that, equity and reparations and all that. And especially infringing in our free speech and the right to carry and own arms. Russia Today, 25th of August 2023. Expanded BRICS to dominate global energy markets. The group will soon control nearly half of the world's total oil output. Nearly half. So that means Europe will have to beg these guys. United States has oil. It just chooses to shoot itself in the foot. It's a different story. But Europe has nothing. Romania barely has anything, and that's it. Not enough for the whole Europe. So what are they going to do? Beg BRICS. So that means European Union financially, economically, will collapse. Unless, they starting farting or blowing some, I don't know, or hoping there's going to be 24 hours of sunshine outside to tap into the solar energy. Or maybe they will start the war in Niger, the French will, to get their last piece of uranium to, have their atomic energy running. So, my friends, these are the implications. These guys are BSing us with, renewable energy, all that. The renewable energy that these guys are capable of producing and supplying right now will not be able to cover, 3% of the net, need of this country. No, I don't think it's 3%. I can't remember how much the number was, but something like insignificantly low. Unbelievable, man. These guys are just running a rocket here. The BRICS group of nations is on course to change the power balance in the global energy market, the Infotech news outlet reported on Thursday, citing calculations based on 2022 OPEC oil exports and production data. So let me read you all that. So, according to the calculations, once the group expands, after adding 6 new nations to its ranks, it will control nearly half of the world's oil production and reserves. BRICS currently consists of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. However, at the group's summit in Johannesburg this week, it was announced that Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates will officially join in January 2024, if the United States doesn't intervene and help them, if you know what I mean. We have a problem in Argentina. We have a guy who's supported 100% by the Americans, and he's just a candidate. He already doesn't recognize what his country signed or agreed upon. So he's going to reverse that. He wants the dollar. He wants the Americans to come over and bring freedom and democracy, Iraq style, to Argentina. According to the report, the group will greatly increase its weight in the oil market with the inclusion of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iran. Along with current members Russia and Brazil, these nations combined control 39% of the world's total oil exports, or 17.1 million barrels per day. The 11 nations of the expanded BRICS will account for around 46.6% of the world's total oil production, data shows. In terms of oil reserves, BRICS will also control nearly half of the world's total, 719.5 billion barrels out of the 1.6 trillion. If Venezuela, which has also recently applied for membership, is accepted into its ranks, the group's control will be even greater, around 65.4%. In comparison, the G7 group of leading economies, the US, UK, Germany, Italy, Canada, France, and Japan, controls only, brace yourselves, 3.9% of known crude reserves. I will repeat. US, to the G7 countries, leading economies, they're the leading economies, but they don't have resources. Where do they get their resources from? US, UK, Germany, Italy, Canada, France, and Japan controls only 3.9% of known crude reserves. Sounds a little bit too small to me. All right, I don't think it's a typo. I will put it here so you can see I'm not reading garbage. Right here. Oh no. All right. This here, 3.9. Somehow this one doesn't freaking want to do anything. Anyway, so 3.9 right here. So analysts note that the expansion of BRICS, all right, now they do it after 3 minutes after I did it. Screw them. Anyway, sometimes, these guys don't want to cooperate with me. Analysts note that the expansion of BRICS to the Gulf countries is likely to see the US lose its influence in the global oil market, where they have bombs. Good enough. And I'm quoting, Saudi Arabia and the UAE joining is extremely insignificant. The United States used to rely on the Gulf monarchies, especially Saudi Arabia, to exert control over the oil price. With their accession to BRICS, it seems likely that America has lost any control it had over oil production for the foreseeable future. End quote. Irish economist Philip Pilkington said in an article for the British portal Unheard. According to Pilkington, the outcome of this week's BRICS summit also symbolizes the end of Iran's economic isolation. And I'm quoting, given that the country is the world's 8th largest oil producer and possesses the 3rd largest proven oil reserves, this is a substantial economic and geopolitical development, he stated. So, more diversity, inclusion, and equity to the United States of America. Make sure you identify as whatever you want. That's important. Bring that critical race theory in your children's classrooms and bring those dancers dressed for your children. And we have the Western civilization going down. In the meantime, these guys are just, like Aesop fable. The hare and the tortoise, the turtle, the race. United States used to be the hare, still is. But the other guys are the turtle. and then they're gonna squash the other side. If, not if, when, so far, this world will be divided in two, that side not only has the population, has the emerging economies, and has the resources. Now, a lot of deluded people think that only we, the Western civilization, are capable of inventing stuff. Well, therefore we say, well, we have the technology. Well, you could have the technology, but if you don't have the material, then you can suck your own thing, if you know what I mean. And vice versa, you can have the resources, but you don't have the brains, then you can't do anything with it. The problem is, on the other side, you don't have really tards, if you know what I mean. These guys are taught here to think, and it's a propaganda mission to tell us that this is the center of the universe. The other guys are nothing without us. Well, it shows how much nothing Russia is without the West, which the Russian economy is booming, and these guys are going down. So how is that possible? And these guys supposedly impose sanctions on Russia, and somehow they shot themselves multiple times in their feet. Keep going. So it seems like Russia got something right, and these guys got something wrong, even though here at least 3 branches of the economy got it right somehow by a coincidence. And I'm talking about military industrial complex, which is, arms manufacturers. The banking system got it right. Don't tell me, hey, they got bellied out. They got bellied out. It's a monopoly now. It's a monopoly. From 50 is going to go to 3 eventually. And then you have the third one, which is what? Resources. The resources are going to lose. The problem is only one country or 2 will have monopoly on this plantation. It's going to be probably United States and to a certain extent Canada, which is the 51st state of the Israel or United States coalition or whatever it is. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.